What's up, you guys? Kite Mashica here, and I'm coming to you with a video, basically kind of like a comment type thing and Q&A. Uh, so I was on YouTube last night and noticed I had a bunch of emails and stuff in comments. I'm like, what the heck? So I go in and look at it, and it was on my previous videos, the how to draw manga, and I like this person who sent these comments. So if you're watching this, Lauren, thank you for sending me these comments and asking these questions. That's the the highlight of my night. So and, and for anyone else who watches it, don't be afraid to put comments and ask questions in the the on the videos and ask questions on stuff that you want to know, because that's what this whole thing is about. So anyway, Lauren asked a few questions, um, and a couple of them were basically agreeing. She had a few comments, and or I don't know, um, but they were questions that I myself failed to mention. So thank you again for asking these. So anyway, I'm gonna basically start. Um, this is more of just like a comment one. So basically, the first comment is I agree with you with many of your points, and anime and manga is definitely not all the same. There is many unique styles. I believe looking into many styles of anime and manga will highly enhance one's abilities as an artist. When it comes to freehand, I feel it was more helpful for me, but I believe it honestly depends on the person. There is no one formula for everyone, and you are absolutely right. Um, and I perfectly agree with that. I mean, when I was talking about doing the um, fan art to start out with, it was merely a suggestion, and I'm not sure if I made that point across during the video, but it was just an idea to see if it works for you. If it does, that's great. If it doesn't, then look for other ways to do it and look for another technique. Look for another style. Granted, she's right. There is no one formula for everyone. Nice to meet you, by the way. I've been looking for other artists to talk to and discuss their feelings on pursuing anime and manga. It's nice to meet you too. I mean, uh, I'm just, I'm like really glad that someone actually took the time to actually ask questions and be interested in this, and it's kind of, it's a little bit uplifting, and now I have a very good reason to continue doing this, and it wasn't just a waste of an hour and a half of my time. So, I mean, yeah, you'll be able to discuss a lot of things with me and stuff, because I love anime and I love manga, and it it's apart from digital animation for like video games or movies like CG stuff, anime and manga is one of my dreams. I mean, it's something that I've been pursuing for a long time, and it's just I just love it and a lot and everything and stuff. And if you really love it too, don't be afraid to pursue it and everything. So just keep at it, and don't listen to what other people tell you that you're never going to get anywhere. Don't listen to that type of stuff. It may seem like a waste of time to them, but if you love it and it's just what you absolutely love to do, it is not a waste of time. It is never a waste of time. So I hope you take that to heart and everything, because doesn't just fall on manga and anime. Just anything that you do, there's always going to be someone out there that'll tell you it's a complete waste of time. Even if it's playing video games for a career, or making videos for something, or heck, working on cars and stuff. Doesn't matter what it is, there's always going to be one person out there who's going to tell you it's worthless, it's a waste of time, you should look for something else to do. Don't listen to it. If it's what you love to do, it's never a waste of time and stuff. And I followed that deeply, and I believe that anything that someone absolutely loves is not a waste of time, which is why I don't tell them that and stuff. So again, all your guys' opinions and everything are welcome here. Everything that you love to do is welcome here, and I will support you all the way. I will literally support you all the way. I don't. It's as long as it's not like you love to go and bash people and stuff like that, or something that's just will be hurtful to other people. If it's like, say, you want to spend your life being a car engineer, or you one of your great hobbies is collecting rocks because you just absolutely love to do it, I'm gonna support you on that. I'm not gonna like turn you away and say go somewhere else. That's just a complete waste of time. It's not even part of the video. No, even if it's not part of the videos or anything like that, it I will support everything that you love to do and stuff. Well, maybe not everything, but anything that isn't negative or hurtful toward a bunch of people. Like, you just love to go on to YouTube and troll people and stuff like that. I'm not gonna support that. In fact, that's the one time when I'm gonna tell you just leave. Um, but okay, so on that note and everything, just remember that it's not a waste of time. Nothing that you love to do is a waste of time. Um, so moving on. Uh, this one is actually a question, and so anyway, so here it is. Also, what do you think is the best way to boost one's confidence in making manga? Because I know many people and myself can feel like their work is just never good enough, or you raise your standards way too high to a point where you're never satisfied no matter how good you become. Well, let me just, for starters, point out one thing that can literally just be completely gotten rid of, and that is giving yourself a standard. It doesn't matter if it's a good even standard, or if it's a low standard, or if it's like way a standard that's so high that you just can't reach it. Doesn't matter what level of a standard it is. Get rid of it. Don't ever give yourself a standard, because if you give yourself a standard, either it's going to be a low standard and your work will always be crappy because you want to stay on that standard, or it'll just be at the good enough and you will never excel and get good enough and everything and get better. Not good enough, but get better. Or the standard will just be way so high of a point that you will never reach it, and you will just never be satisfied, and you will never get to that point, and you will always be frustrated and everything. I'm not getting any better. I will never reach that point. So just get rid of the standards. Um, and you're gonna probably everyone's gonna realize that along these videos is that I hate standards. Um, so I never give myself a standard. It's just like people giving themselves a label and stuff because they want to label themselves to hurt, basically hurtful labels that they do because they don't feel good about themselves and everything. Like, uh, that's the way I see standards. They're negative. They're not good. They never they never they're never they're never positive. They're always negative. They may seem positive when you give yourself a standard, but they're negative because either they will hold you back or you will never reach that point and stuff like that. And even if there's some odd reason that you do reach that point in your standard, you will stay there and you will never get better and stuff. The way I see it, no matter what you do, you will always get better. You will never stop at a certain point and everything. There is never a perfection in any type of art or anything that you do. There's never a perfection. But one way I can think of boosting one's self confidence is wake up every morning saying that I can do it. You know, it's there is no standard. All right, I don't have to reach a certain level to where people will absolutely love it, and just draw what I feel. You know, just draw what's in your heart. Draw what you see and everything. And don't thrive on a standard or anything. Instead, I know that a lot of people would say goals or like a standard, but go for a goal. Let your goal be that every single day I will continue to get better. But think of it in a positive way. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna get better and stuff. Be cheerful about it. Don't like say, oh, I gotta get better, otherwise my stuff ain't gonna work. No, be cheerful. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna get better today. My stuff is awesome now, but it's gonna get better. It's always gonna get better. I'm a I'm I'm just great and stuff. And to be honest, no matter what, if you draw it and stuff and you actually pour your heart into it, that is the main thing. Pour your heart into it and stuff. And believe me, once you if you pour your absolute heart into it, you will absolutely love your artwork afterwards because it's you, it's your heart, it's what you felt at the time. And if you pour your heart into it, I don't care what it is. It's art. It's amazing and stuff. There's only two levels of art, and that's bad or amazing. And to be honest, if you pour your heart into it, no matter what, it cannot be bad. The only way it could be bad is if you threw it together really quick, just so that way you can get it done and get it out of the way. No, if you pour your heart into it, it's gonna be great and stuff. And believe it or not, I feel that people will see that and everything. You don't thrive for perfection. Thrive for what you feel and everything, and let that be your main goal every single day. Is like when you draw what you feel, draw what's in your heart, pour your heart into it, and wake up in the morning and everything and saying that, you know, I've gotten better today. Yeah, I've gotten much better. I've I'm better than yesterday because I've learned yesterday. I picked up a pen and I practiced yesterday, so I got better. Uh, Never wake up and everything or going to a page and it's like I'm not getting better. This is just hopeless or anything like that. Never think negative. Always think positive. That is the main goal. Granted, some of your stuff may look at it and you'd be like, this doesn't look as good as I thought. Then keep working at it. Keep adjusting things. It doesn't matter. Never draw your final product until you can see that this is what it was and everything. And just draw from your heart and always be positive. Never during a drawing say I can't do it. It's done. I'll never get it to look right. Just always think positive. It's like yeah, okay, okay. So I got a little bit messed up here. Let's just fix that and stuff, and I can fix it, and it's gonna look amazing when it's done. Um, just say okay. So I just messed up a little bit. No problem. I'll just fix it. Draw a little bit over here. Ah, perfect. So, but again, it won't ever be perfect, but it'll be perfect for your heart. It'll be perfect what you feel. And and don't let people get you down and everything and stuff and say because there's always going to be one person out there that's going to criticize you regardless. But instead of taking that criticism in a negative way, um, take it in a positive way. Somebody who criticizes your art is saying like, "Oh, your lines are too dark. Your faces look odd or something like that." Take it as helpful advice. Take it in a positive way is like saying, "Okay, this person's trying to say that I need to improve in some things. All right, I will do that." So get your paper and start improving. Don't ever take anything in a negative way. Take it always in a positive. And to be honest, that is one way. That is like one of the main ways I can think of to boost one's self confidence and everything. And also, the best way, another really, really good way to boost your confidence is, I know everyone has friends and has family. What I do is whenever I get something done and I'm happy with it and stuff, but I'm feeling a little like, oh, does other people like it and everything? But what I do every day, even if I absolutely love it, I always go and I take it to my friends and my family and get their opinions on it. And 90% of the time, it will be positive because unless if your parents or something like that absolutely hate anime, but if you're joining the anime and manga stuff, but just other things as well, no matter what it is, take it take it to them and everything and get their opinions on it. I guarantee they're not just gonna throw it in your face and be like, you're a horrible person, go get rid of it, go and burn in a fire. No, 90% of the time they're gonna be try to be as positive and as encouraging as they can be. And unless if your friends aren't, then they're not really good friends. I mean, granted, they may be fun to hang out and everything, but if they're negative towards you, like just absolutely horrible, I mean, everyone's gonna have a criticism, like saying like, for me, one of my big problems, and my mom pointed it out to me, and I thank her for it, was my arms were too long. And she looked at one of my pictures and she just pointed out, it's like, your arms are like, the arms are like really, really long, but she didn't do it in a mean way. It's like, your arms are horrible, you can go and just burn in a fire or something like that. No, she's just saying your arms are too long and you need to work on it and stuff like that. That is not a negative. That's just helpful advice, saying that it's something you need to work on. So never take something like that in a negative tone. Take it in, it's like, okay, now I know where I need to go and work and stuff. Don't change it dramatically to fit just one person, but it will show that they notice something that needs a little bit of work on and stuff. And I can guarantee, if your friends are truly your friends, especially, and even your family, they're not going to criticize. They're not going to say horrible things and be completely horrible to you and stuff. Otherwise, there's a bit of a problem. But they will criticize it and stuff, but it won't be a hurtful criticism. It'll just say, hey, look, you need a little bit of work on here or there or something like that. It needs to be adjusted for next time, and take that as positive and everything. Always take everything in a positive way. And if somebody says something negative to you, like really, really negative and just hurtful to you, don't thrive on it, because those people are just absolutely, they're jerks. They're just gonna be like that. Don't ever take anything like that to heart and stuff. Listen to the positive people, even if they criticize your work just a little bit, like saying, pointing out something. They take their advice. Listen to them, not to the person that's just completely bashing you. All right, never do that, because I can tell you what, if you listen to that one person, that's gonna drop your confidence down to rock bottom and stuff. And I've had it happen before, and I just learned not to listen to people like that. That's why I go to my friends first and everything. People who I know they will criticize it, but they won't be completely rude and bashing. They will point out helpful information. They will point out something helpful that will help me later. That's why I go to them, and I don't go to some random person on the street, because that person is gonna be like, yeah, I don't care for crap about that and stuff like that. And now, whenever you like actually release your manga and everything, that's a different story. But if you take it to the person directly, they will do that. But um, once you release your manga, the worst that they can do is not read it. And I can guarantee there will be hundreds and thousands of people that will 90. If your work is if you've poured your heart into it and everything, they will absolutely love your manga. If it's got a good story and you've poured your heart into every little thing into it, they're gonna love it and stuff like that. That's what I'm trying to do with my manga and everything, and I am so happy with it. I mean, granted, I know it's like, okay, I can improve it later. I can keep working on it and stuff, and I know it will continue to grow. And I'm not happy with the exact level it is and stuff, but I'm happy with what I've accomplished and everything. So, but yeah, just take everything in a positive way and stuff, and never set yourself with a standard. Doesn't matter if it's high, low, or reachable. Just never set yourself with a standard, because once you reach that point, you will never get better. You'll never grow. So don't ever set yourself with a standard. Okay. All right. So next question. Um. Okay. Halfway through through this video now, and have some questions. I have come across individuals who say you can't be an anime slash manga artist if you're not Japanese, like telling you that you have to call it anime inspired. Mm-mm. No. And I did look at the. I looked at this question last night. I'm all okay. Um, thank you for asking that. Uh, I wish I had said something like this in the video, talked about this in the video, because it's kind of this is an issue. Now, let me start out by saying that what those individual people are saying is wrong. Okay. Basically, them saying that you can only write manga and anime if you're Japanese is like saying that um, you can't worship Christianity because you're not white. You can't be a rapper, for instance, because you're not black. You can't celebrate Hanukkah because you're not Jewish. It it is them doing that is ignorant racism. So that's pretty much all it is. It's just, although they may not know it at the time, but what they're saying is basically it's kind of racist and stuff. Even if they're American and saying that and stuff, it's wrong, and more than likely those people are uneducated. And in my opinion, okay, if it has see, it doesn't. It's not the person itself that makes it that makes it manga. It doesn't matter if you're Japanese. It's not if you're Japanese that makes it manga. It's not if you're from Japan that makes it manga. It's the heart and the soul of it that makes it manga. Like, this is manga, okay? This is if it's got the heart and soul of manga, then it's manga. I mean, if it's the style of it, it's the story, it's the depth, it's the character, it's the unique look, it's the feel of it that makes it manga, not the writer. Okay, it's not if the writer is Japanese or American or anything like that. You could be American, you could be Japanese, you could be Hindu, you could be Mexican, you could be black, um you could be even Chinese and stuff like that. I don't care. Anime and manga is writable by anyone, and there is no such thing as anime inspired. I mean, you can have a book that's inspired by another anime or manga, and a lot of those are fan fiction and stuff, and only fan fiction. But if it's your own original story and it still has the heart and soul and everything that makes manga, it's a manga, no matter what anyone tells you. And those people are just uneducated and stuff like that, or extreme mangakas, which I will talk about and stuff. The basically what mangaka is trying to hold the exact traditions of Japanese manga, which they write everything in Japanese and they write it from right to left and everything and stuff like that, and they just write it the way that it's written in Japan. I've got no problem with that and stuff like that, but and a lot of the time, and mangakas don't say that you can't write manga and stuff like that. It's still manga, but if you want to be a mangaka, you gotta write it in Japanese, which I will never do because to me, that's sort of following a standard. And I hate standards. I'm sorry. I hate standards. They hold you back or they try to push you to a goal that is impossible to reach. And um, so yeah, people who say that you can't write manga or anime and stuff. In reality, since you'd be writing manga instead of anime, because with the anime artist, if you want to be an anime artist, that's fine and stuff. It's pretty much the same thing, except it's moving picture. But the only thing is you're not making your own story, unless if it's a direct anime based story. But a lot of the times the director's involved with that. You would have to be both the anime artist and the director and stuff like that and writer. But a lot of the times it's following other people's work, and which is why I want to be a manga artist and not an anime artist. I mean, granted, if when my manga actually gets published, and I will get it published, I will fight until it gets published. But if it get when it gets published and everything, and someone picks it up and says, "Let's make an anime out of this," I'm gonna make sure that I am there to oversee every little bit of it, so that way it's the exact story and everything like that. So I will be directly involved in my anime, in the anime of it, but I won't necessarily be working on all the animation the um or directing in it. I will be like a main focus on it to make sure the guys aren't screwing it up, you know. I'm a manga artist, so but I get what you're saying on that. And no, and even now, anime and manga is beginning to rise in America and everything, and I'm gonna be talking about that because that's one of the questions later. I'm gonna be talking about it later, but there's schools and stuff dedicated to, well, especially at the Art Institute, there are courses and stuff dedicated to animation, and manga artists, which I wouldn't go because with this, I prefer to do it myself. I mean, in my opinion, I don't know what they could teach me. I mean, they could teach me like the basics and stuff like that and everything, but all of those type stuff I already know, and I learn on my own pace, and I don't like to be rushed and have to pay for something that I can learn on my own. So, um, but yeah, uh, so never let anyone tell you that just because you're Japanese, you can't be a manga artist, because it's a straight fat up lie, or that's what they they believe. A lot of times they're not necessarily trying to lie to you. They're just stating what they have been told, and either they're not educated enough, they're not educated, or the person that told them this isn't educated. So you can tell them that it's not true, that you you don't have to be Japanese to be a manga artist, just like you don't have to be an American type or a white and everything to write comic books. I mean, there's a lot of Japanese comic book artists who live here in America or something, just because they prefer that type of style of art, which there's nothing wrong with that and everything. And just because they're not white or anything, that doesn't mean that they can't do that. So it's bogus. I mean, if Japan and stuff and the Japanese really wanted manga to be solely by Japanese artists and stuff like that, I don't think that they would have allowed it in America or any other country. To be honest, they wouldn't allow dubs. They wouldn't allow revamps of it or anything like that, because that would be kind of hypocritical in my opinion. So when somebody tells you it's manga and that you can't do it if you're not Japanese and you have to call it manga inspired, just tell them that you're wrong. Don't be like rude and everything. Just tell them in a kind of a positive way. Is like, I'm sorry, but you're wrong. You've been misinformed and stuff like that. Just try to ignore that. Okay. Next question. Also, any advice if you're a perfectionist, such as